Hi everyone, my name is Aaron Fullen, and I have a story I want to share with you. It's the true story of a young boy from rural Iowa who had aspirations of becoming an actor and film composer, and how a small manufacturing company with a big heart paved the way for his dream to become a reality. And it's a story about me. I know all of us are getting more than enough bad news these days, so it is my hope and prayer that this story is the bit of good news your soul might be craving right now. My story began in Clinton, Iowa, a small river town nestled on the banks of the Mississippi River with a population of about 25,000. A quiet blue-collar town that once bustled with a thriving logging and railroad industry, not known for being one of the film industry capitals of the world by any means. As a young boy who grew up mere blocks away from America's largest river, I had no idea how someone like me would even begin to pursue a seemingly unlikely career in the entertainment industry. After many years of piano lessons, composing for hours on end, making home movies with my brothers and friends, gaining a sense of humor, that was helpful, and learning the art of stage presence, I grew into an ambitious teen with an immovable resolve to move straight to Hollywood right out of high school. With much encouragement from peers and professionals alike, I felt unstoppable. But the reality was, I was not ready, not even close. And thankfully, my parents told me so, and caringly cautioned me against blindly foraying into what is often proven to be an indisputably dangerous and dark industry. Devastated and deflated, but trusting my parents' genuine love and concern for me, I chose instead to attend Emmaus Bible College in neighboring Dubuque, Iowa, majoring in music ministry with an emphasis on piano performance. Throughout my time there, my dream of pursuing a career in the entertainment industry never faded. It merely waited and waited and waited. The fire continued to burn, but while I waited, I learned some hard yet invaluable life lessons that stretched me, allowing me to grow from a restless adolescent into a somewhat grounded young adult. While attending Emmaus, I met the love of my life, Tabby. We married shortly after graduating and started our new life together in the tiny village, that's right, village of Thompson, Illinois, population 600, in a 2-bedroom apartment that was formerly an old funeral home. No joke. My first job out of college was working in the cafe of a local entrepreneur, serving specialty espresso and gourmet paninis. Over the next couple years, I was transferred from the cafe over to the audio production branch of the company, gaining invaluable experience in the industry via trips to Los Angeles and London, working with some of the top talent in the world. I loved my job very much, yet my hopes of achieving my goal to become a full-time composer and actor remained near and dear to my heart. Day in and day out, I would come home after work and put in hours of additional composing work, improving my acting and improv abilities, developing my film editing skills, and networking with as many industry professionals as I could. It was during this phase of my life that rejection would become an all too familiar refrain. Reaching out to hundreds, if not thousands, of directors, producers, and executives, asking them to give me a chance to prove myself. Most of my requests were met with radio silence, maybe next times, or cold, hard, flat denials. I was no stranger to discouragement and doubt, but something in me kept telling me, keep going. The best is yet to come. Don't give up. So I didn't. Late nights, early mornings, the fruits of perseverance began to bloom, and I started to make inroads. Painfully slowly, but increasingly surely. My skills continued to develop and improve in ways I wouldn't fully realize until much later. Part-time gigs began coming on a semi-regular basis, and things were finally looking up. Then, on the eve of the birth of my 3rd child, I was unexpectedly fired from my position at the audio production company. The next morning, at a hospital in Davenport, Iowa, I found myself unemployed and staring into the face of my newborn daughter, wondering how I was going to provide for my growing family. My dreams once again had to be deprioritized, as now I had to look for employment wherever I could get it. The first person to hear of my situation and offer me a job was the president of a small local manufacturing company by the name of Fulton Corp. They produce quality American-made products such as mailboxes, sawhorses, dustpans, and other similar items. Although being a press operator at a factory was far from my first choice, I accepted the job on a Friday and started my new role on the following Monday. I worked at Fulton Corp almost 1 full year to the day. It was hard, hot, often exhausting work. But it was yet another phase of my journey I'll never forget and always cherish. But the dream didn't end there, not by a long shot. I was still determined, still convinced that the Lord had work for me to do in the entertainment industry. So the nightly routines continued. More practicing, more networking, more consistent side gigs. While earning a steady income from my day job that provided for my family, I kept my eye on the prize and pursued it with an unrelenting fervor, despite numerous unforeseen setbacks. Fast forward almost 2 years, I am now 31 years old with 4 children, working a part-time job as a tourism director in a nearby town. Near the close of 2020, I landed a dream job opportunity to produce and star in a 2-week series for a major international brand with a huge following. The potential implications were far-reaching, and the compensation was significant. Could this be the break I was waiting for? I certainly hoped so. After multiple brainstorming sessions and virtual meetings with their creative team, I was excited, so excited, to start producing content. But before I could begin, I received an email from one of the producers and was told that one of the higher-ups in the company had major concerns about some of the content I recently posted on social media. Although the executive refused to give specific details regarding the content he or she found offensive, it was safely assumed by many that the content deemed offensive was directly related to my conservative and vocally pro-life values. One more meeting was scheduled, and the HR department regretfully informed me they could no longer work with me on the project and ended the partnership. As much as I didn't want to let it hurt me, the whole ordeal dealt a painful and disheartening blow. And people took notice. Well, one person in particular, the plant manager of Fulton Corp. He took me out to lunch and asked me what I would be doing if I didn't have to work a part-time job to keep the lights on, so to speak. I told him, well, I'd be pursuing a career in composing, acting, or some combination thereof. The plant manager smiled and replied, well, we'd like to potentially give you the opportunity to do just that. He went on to explain that the factory had a better than usual year in 2020. Turns out people found a lot of home projects to work on during the pandemic, and the company was looking for ways to invest in the community and individuals they thought were making a difference, locally and even globally. And much to my surprise, I was one of the investments being considered. After a couple more meetings with the president and plant manager of Fulton Corp, it was decided that I would be one of the recipients of their generosity. What exactly does that mean? It means they agreed to put me on their payroll for at least a year to free me up from part-time responsibilities and provide me the rare opportunity to pursue a full-time career as an actor, composer, influencer, etc. In essence, they agreed to be the most generous patron I could ever ask for. So, as of the second week in March, I'm now doing what I love without the concerns of the ebb and flow of income that's often part of the territory in this career path, unless of course you're John Williams or The Rock. Obviously, the goal is to eventually be able to get to the point where a benefactor won't be a necessary component of my career anymore. But until then, they're standing in the gap for me. Why? Because they believe that I can do it, that I'm making an impact right where I am, and that with just a bit more time and dedication to my crafts, I'll be able to achieve my lifelong goals. As a sincere thank you for their investment in my life and career, You'll be hearing me mention their name more often and periodically promoting their products in my videos. Because frankly, why wouldn't I? To any and all of you who may be struggling with the whys and whens of life right now, take heart. I assure you there's a reason behind it all. If you commit your ways to the Lord and trust Him to take care of you through the highs and the lows, and yes, I know there will be many more lows to come, I assure you that you will one day see the answers to those questions. Maybe not for many, many years, but you will see. To my fellow Christian brothers and sisters in the entertainment industry, don't compromise. Don't abandon your innate, God-given sense of morality in order to be more successful in your career. If you have to give up your soul for success, it's not worth it. To the business owners around the world who might be looking for ways to make an impact in their community, perhaps consider investing directly into the individuals who you think are capable of making a big difference if only given the chance. Take notice of those who just need a little boost to get to the mountaintop they're seeking and working so hard to attain. It might end up being the greatest investment you ever make, regardless of the financial return. Am I worthy of this gift from Fulton Court? No, of course not. Which is why it's so incredibly humbling for me to accept it. And it's a powerful, tangible example of the incredible gift of Jesus Christ, given to a world of unworthy sinners by a generous and loving Heavenly Father. We're undeserving, but oh, so grateful, are we not? And now we have from now until eternity to live out our lives as an act of gratitude in obedience for that once and for all gift that was offered on a cross so many years ago. My goal is to honor the Lord with the gifts He's given me. Anything short of that goal is, quite frankly, a waste of my time and His gifts. I need to remind myself of that truth constantly. Whatever your talents, goals, and dreams are, work hard at them as unto the Lord and not unto man. You want satisfaction? That's the only way to get it. Selfish ambition gets us nowhere and leaves us feeling empty. For good reason, too. But when we work our tails off for the glory of our Creator and Savior, we will experience a satisfaction that is not of this world. As Eric Liddell so aptly put it, God made me fast, and when I run, I feel His pleasure. What did God create you to do? Whatever it is, do it. Do it well, and do it for Him. Thanks for the time investment it took to watch this video, my friends. I hope you found it encouraging and applicable to your life in some way, shape, or form. If you're so inclined, please do join me on my new journey. I'd love to have as many of you as possible in my corner as I venture out into uncharted waters. Just to be clear, my goal isn't to attain worldwide acclaim. I just want to be able to do what I feel wired to do and provide for my family as I do so. That's been my prayer for many, many years and will continue to be my prayer for years to come. And finally, despite their lack of national attention and praise, there are many amazing acts of kindness, generosity, and love happening all around us as we speak. Choose to direct your focus there. Be an active participant. Change starts on the individual level, not on the national or the global one. Together, we can make a difference. With Christ and with Him only, all things are possible.